What's your analysis of, or your thought on current state of cinema?
It makes the 80s look fucking great.
How we doing today? My name is Steph, and today I want to tell you about something that's been grinding my gears lately. I want to talk about a trend that I've been seeing over the past couple years in the movie industry. Ever since I was a little laddie, I've been attached to the cinema. Every time a new blockbuster movie would hit the big screen, I would be there to see it. There's something so magical about seeing new ideas for the first time as a child. Like take Avatar, for example. It was the first movie that I'd ever seen in the IMAX theater, and I was completely blown away. I had never seen hair penetration before. This movie was next level. Look at this! Not only that, but the concepts and story behind Avatar was something I'd never seen in film before. The characters were unique, they were easy to get attached to, the plot was engaging, it was fun. It was unlike any movie that I've ever seen in my life. And clearly I'm not the only person who thought this, because to this day, over a decade later, Avatar is, well, I'll just let the numbers speak for themselves. And yet still, no one knows the name of the main character of the movie. Like, go ahead, ask anyone. Jake Sully. When I think of movies that I consider to be my favorite, they share a lot of similarities with Avatar. New concepts, lovable characters, unique atmosphere. And for a while when I was growing up, this was the case for nearly every blockbuster movie in the box office. Until one day, all that changed. I'm not going to coin myself as a film hipster because I partially agree with what Scorsese says, but I seriously can't be the only person noticing that nearly every movie that people are talking about throughout the year is a remake of like a movie from 30 years ago. Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Top Gun, Transformers, Jurassic Park, The Matrix, Ghostbusters, Spider-Man, Batman, Lion King, Ocean's 11, Baywatch, Terminator, Jumanji, Star Trek, Planet of the Apes, Mummy, Harry Potter, Fast and Furious, Avatar, Toy Story, the list goes on. Now, a lot of these movies are really good movies, but still, you can see a trend here, right? Now, clearly, this isn't the case for every single movie in Hollywood nowadays. There are plenty of movies that have original concepts and sweep the award shows. Like, just look at the Oscar nominees this year. But it feels like ever since Marvel started releasing a handful of movies yearly, studios have fallen into the trap of recycling a gripping story that had success in the past. I'm having a stroke. Ugh. In that same interview clip that I showed earlier,
It makes the 80s look fucking great.
Quentin Tarantino described Hollywood as a pendulum that swings about every decade, give or take. And he says that the 50s were a repressive time in Hollywood.
First really big repressive time was the 50s.
You skip a generation, you get the 70s, banger films.
Pendulum had to swing
the
back
other way,
again
right.
for the 80s.
Then you get the 80s, which when it shined, my God, did it ever shine. But it was hit and miss otherwise. And then you get the 90s. Now, pause. Can we just talk about this stretch of movies that occurred within 1 year? Then it swings back again for the 2000s. Now this is where things get a little weird. In theory, sound like fucking Jordan Peterson. In theory, the pendulum should have swung back, but it didn't. And it's not just movies, by the way. Like, don't even get me started on the state of the music industry right now.
And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. I'm moved, I've been deed, I've been died, cause I'm good, I'm feeling alright, baby.
Now I want to talk about myself for a little bit here. I grew up in the beautiful province of Alberta. Yeah, boy. My one aspiration in life has always been, and always will be, cool daddy. I just want to be cool daddy. I look around me, cool daddies everywhere. Who's a cool daddy? Cody fucking Maverick is a cool daddy. This guy is the GOAT of surfing. Pingu Island has never seen talent such as Cody Maverick, ever. This movie was the GOAT of animation. Very quickly became my favorite animated movie of all time. Big Z's quote is just constantly living rent-free inside my head. Never give up and find a way, because that's what winners do. Oh my god! Nothing is ever gonna come close to touching the unique quality that this movie had. Just like the interviews, like it was just nothing. I've never seen any other movie like this before in my life. It is the greatest animated movie ever made. And then they remade the movie with WWE surfers. What the I can't even fathom this